Good afternoon. It is April 13th, 2021, and we are here in Wadley Park in downtown Vale, I guess. And we are doing our Walking Together, Talking Together. I'm Frank Iragwan. Welcome to Zach Knapp. And Zach, we're kind of interested. I just told you, I've known Knapp's, the Knapp name, for years and years and years. So tell us a little bit about yourself and your family and how you, I guess, the group ended up here.
Yeah, so I was born in Ontario, Oregon, went to school in Ontario, graduated from Ontario High School in 97. Dating myself there for everybody who wants to do math. Family was in the Ontario area, and after school came home. I taught in Ontario at the middle school for several years, and then I had the fortunate pleasure of falling in love with a girl from Vale. So I married Stephanie Rekla, who grew up on a dairy just outside of town, and life happened, and there was some teaching positions open in Vale that I applied for, and I've been here now for 9 years teaching in Vale. Started out at Willow Creek and then taught at the middle school for a number of years, and then this year they moved me to the elementary school, teaching 6th grade, and wear lots of hats, coach some sports and announce some football and do all sorts of fun different things there with the school district. So that's how we ended up here.
Not only that, but teacher, you also are the chair or the president of Vale Community Coalition. Now that's kind of a new one for some of us, so tell us about Vale Community Coalition.
Yeah, so we started the coalition in 2018. It's actually really was a grassroots kind of effort. I had a kind of a grant proposal come through my desk for a community walking path type of a thing with Fuel Up to Play 360, and at that time Jen Tolman was doing the walking project or whatever it was that was the health initiative out of the drugstore. And so I contacted her and I said, hey, you're walking with people and I see this walking path thing, maybe we should talk. And kind of one thing led to another, and before you knew it, we had a few people that were like-minded about how we could improve this community. And it's kind of funny, those things always start out with lots and lots of ideas, and I could feel us kind of spinning our wheels early on. And so we finally settled on the slogan that is now our kind of mission statement, which is improving the Vale community one project at a time, because it's a good reminder to not get distracted by all of the other things we could be doing. So we have been working for the last 4 years now. Corona kind of slowed us down for a little while there, but we've been working to try to improve the community, and after lots of conversations with lots of people, have really kind of settled in on parks improvement in general, not just a walking path. We definitely want that to happen, but there's lots of other fun things that we could be doing here too at this park and the other parks around town. And so we're helping the city right now try to develop a Parks and Rec master plan so that we have a big, widespread plan of what we could do here for our community, and then we can help them start going after grant funding and different projects to try to help make those things start happening. So that's kind of the quick and dirty on where we are and how we've got here.
Kind of sounds like an expanded view of walking together and talking together, huh? Now, you just, your Vale Community Coalition just sponsored kind of the uptake on what has been our annual crab feed.
Yes.
Crab and steak. So tell us about that. How did that come about?
So one of our board members, when we were kind of getting going, was Todd Hesse, who was the former fire chief. And last year he came to us before COVID actually, and all the fun that was that. And I think he maybe kind of knew that he was about to transition out into a different role, and so he was kind of sort of greasing the wheels, like, you guys should come and help, and I think maybe a group like this would be good for this event. And so we ended up having a number of our members down helping last year, and then in the transition, you know, the new fire folks down there just decided we don't want to do that. And so we kind of sat down hard as a group and said, well, is this something we want to take on? And with so many things in our community being canceled and so much of the things that we just couldn't do anymore, we were like, okay, whatever we have to do to make this happen, we have to make this happen. And so we threw it together, and hopefully everybody made it out and was able to be there and support. We kind of had, you know, honestly planning it all, my main objective was to not have people wait. Like I just wanted to make sure that people could get their food and get through quickly, because I knew that was one of the complaints with last year's event, which I think they had 2 weeks to plan it. So, you know, they did everything they could back then. And it was great to get that feedback from the folks involved last year and say, okay, what can we do better? How can we improve this to make this just flow so that people can get through and all of that? And I feel like it went well. I hope people enjoyed it.
In fact, I liked the 3 lines, and gee,
It was perfect.
we had probably about a dozen cars in front of us, and less than 15 minutes, and we were through and on our way. So good. So I assume you probably may be continuing that.
Yeah, I think so. It's kind of funny, you know, we were sitting there talking, and I was like, hey, this is going pretty good, guys. We were hooping and hollering, having a good time, keeping everybody's energy high, and like, I think we got this figured out. We know how to do this, and now we'll never do it again.
Oh,
because
no.
hopefully next time this will be a sit-down event, and we won't have to have 3
Well,
lines
yeah.
and people driving through. So we learned about how to host an event that we'll never host again. So fingers crossed that we
yeah.
don't have
We
to do
hope.
it that way.
We hope.
But yeah, it was fun. It's a lot of logistics, man. It was just figuring out how to do it and how to serve it, and honestly, like, the amount of support we had with people showing up to help, like, that
a lot
was
of people, yeah.
it. Like, I kind of had a rough idea of how it would go, but then people showed up. And
How many do you think you had actually working down there? Looked
Oh.
like people all over.
yeah, I'll bet we had, like, almost all of our board was there helping out, and they brought their children and their spouses, and we had some community business folks just come and help. So I mean, I don't know, probably 25 people helping maybe. And it was, I mean, you try to direct ship as much as you can, right? And like tell people like, yeah, I need this done and this done. And it, you know, there were points in the night where people were like, I'm here to help. What do I need to do? And I was like, they probably told you to come ask me, huh? Yeah, that's what they said.
there.
And I'm like, I don't know. Things just kind of need to happen. So find somewhere you think you can help. And people did. They jumped in, you know, and things just kept flowing. And I couldn't get to cars fast enough. We had enough great kids helping and folks helping. I'd walk up to a car and say, did they take your ticket?
Yeah.
Yep, they're already going.
to
And
us a couple times,
I'd
yeah.
turn around and here would come their food right behind me. I'm like, okay, yeah, we're
Great.
moving today. So
Well, you know, it sounds like Vale Community Coalition is all about serving, making our community better. You have any suggestions or thoughts about how people can get involved and actually serve?
actually, that's a super great question because
Happen
we happen to have an event.
Okay.
So, you know, last year about this time, I mean, maybe a couple months before this, we were approached by the Better Together organization, which is a group out of Ontario. I think they're affiliated with one of the church groups over there, and I apologize because I don't know which one it is. But they run a Serve Day project every year, and we were all scheduled to do some things last year. And I was on the phone with our coordinator, like, this event, and let's go look at it. And I had a time scheduled to meet with them to look over the project. And then a day later, the phone call, we're canceling Serve Day, coronavirus, everything's in a holding pattern, we just can't do it. And so we were kind of like, okay. Well, so this year's event came around again, and it was time to plan. And they're like, okay, things are looking better, the metrics are good, we think we can host this. We need to be careful and make sure that we're not doing, you know, too much. Like a lot of times they do, like they serve people breakfast and stuff to get them excited to come out. And I don't think we're going to do that this year. We probably could have now that it's like kind of late in the game and the metric is really low. But when you're planning these things, it's like, you got to kind of plan for where you're at the time. But
April 24th.
April
Is that right?
24th. Yep. So that's like, so this will air, I guess, tomorrow. So 10 days away. And so honestly, what we need is volunteers. So the website is serveday.info. And so if you go to serveday.info, at the very top in green letters across the header, there's a tab that says volunteer. And if you click on that, they're going to get a bunch of your information in a little form that you fill out. But it's really important that we do that, because probably the biggest thing that the Serveday folks give us is an insurance policy. Like they have a liability package for people that are involved in the service work that day. And so as long as all of our volunteers are kind of connected to their, back end management of who volunteered to do what, then everybody kind of falls into that policy, which is a nice little bit of insurance to help with things. But yeah, so folks sign up for that, and then they're on the list of volunteers. And we have 2 main projects planned, the first of which is just a general citywide cleanup. So we're just going to be pulling weeds and picking up trash and trying to make our community look a little bit better. And then we're also going to tackle one of the entrance signs into town. That was one of the projects we had planned for last year. We were going to try to do both ends of town, actually. And when everything fell through with the way things were this year, we decided let's just focus on one. And so right now we're looking at removing the brown Welcome to Vale sign that's down by Steve Bates's hotel and restaurant there. And we're going to replace that with a new, updated, more modern, nicer looking version of something similar. So we're working on that. I think probably, I was just talking to the Serveday folks today actually, and I think that what will happen on Serveday there mostly is just cleaning up that sign, like getting it removed and taken down and stuff. And then we might start a little bit of the landscaping that we have planned there. But I would imagine most of the folks who want to volunteer and help will be helping with the trash pickup somewhere around town.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Sounds good. So you will keep us advised of upcoming Vale Community Coalition projects.
Yep, definitely. We have a Facebook page, and we post all of our stuff on our Facebook page. We don't have an official website yet. We might get there eventually. So for right now, Facebook is your best bet. But usually we post videos and just general announcements or flyers or things like that. If you want direct information, you can send us an email at vale.community.coalition@gmail.com. And you can know what's going on there. We're kind of in the process of growing and reorganizing and figuring out, maybe we have membership, and what does membership look like? I don't know yet. I mean, right now it's just basically the 12 members of the board, and that's kind of who's doing most of everything. But this it's kind of growing out of control in a bit right now, which is a good thing. I mean, it means that people are excited, and there's lots of projects and things to do. And I kind of have actually joked a little bit with myself. I'm like, yeah, one project at a time. That might not be as easy to do as I thought it was.
Leads to another, and yeah. Well, we have a final question too, and the last year has really been quite a struggle for all of us. But we're wondering, when you wake up in the morning, what do you think about and think, boy, I am happy for this?
Oh, that's easy. Every day is a great day to be a Viking.
Okay.
Was there any doubt that I was going to say that?
Yeah.
No, honestly, I think, that, anybody who's been to the football games here in Vale has heard me say that at the end of the night, every night in the last couple of years. But I just really believe that, I love being a part of this community. I love working with the kids, and now the coalition work has given me the opportunity to give back even more to this great community, and that's just, really a joy to be a part of a small, caring community that looks out for people and is just a nice place to raise a family and stuff. So I'm happy to be from Vale.
You say, thank you, God. One more day as a Viking.
That's right. There we go.